Welcome back for more ARMS. Today, we're doing Ribbon Girl, who you may recognize from the box art, like I said last time. I really like that on the box art, she's punching Springman right in the face. Because, I don't know, in my mind, it's like Springman's the mascot and Ribbon Girl's the second one. You know, she's the Luigi. But I think it's funny to see her knocking him out. So we're going to play... I kind of want to do 5, but it's like, I'm going to be talking... no, you know what? I'm gonna give Ribbon Girl a good show. Do a good show as Ribbon Girl. So let's go level 5. Live from Ribbon Ring, the flair, the savvy, the sweet melody of the ARMS Grand Prix is upon us. And who else to be here to share this action-packed event but your buddy Biff? If you thought her voice was powerful, you haven't seen anything yet. Here's Ribbon Girl! As elegant and versatile as her namesake, this gal's making quite a name for herself. Rumor has it if she wins the tournament, she'll perform a concert on this very stage. She hasn't done it before? Will she live up to her fans' expectations? I certainly hope so. Okay, let the ARMS Grand Prix begin! Match 1. Taking place in Ribbon Ring, of course. Again, Min. Match 1. Belt it out. It's Ribbon Girl versus the Ramen Bomber, Min. Calling someone Noodle Arms is usually a diss, but she's actually has them, and they're no joke. Can Ribbon Girl air dash her way to victory, or will Ramen reign supreme? Time to find out. I forgot to mention, the little intros for all the fighters are different depending on if they're starting on your stage, or if you're starting on their stage. So we're getting different dialogue from Min there. I'm pretty sure it's different between fighters as well, so it's like 2 different lines for each intro per fighter. Anyway, let's get on with this. So this is Ribbon Girl. She can jump a lot. She has multiple jumps. Not exactly sure how many, but I can just put that up on screen. And she can drop immediately. I feel like it has an official name, but yeah, that's a cool ability to just drop right out of the air. But you don't want to do it every time, because that makes you predictable. And the name of the game kind of well, the name of the game is ARMS, but the other name of the game might as well be the subtitle of the game is Don't Be Predictable. Because when you're predictable, your opponent predicts you and you get punched. When you're predictable, you get predicted. Your opponent predicts you. But yeah, when your opponent knows what you're gonna do, they can just counter you. I mean, that's a basic fighting game principle, isn't it? So if you know what's coming, you can just block, or if it's a grab, you know you can attack through it. So what you want to do is you want to shake things up. You don't want to use all your jumps every time. You don't want to always do an air dash. Ribbon Girl actually gets 2 air dashes. Ah! That was a good move. Now, I think the usual playstyle for Ribbon Girl is to, you know, just jump around the air waiting for your opponent. But she's versatile enough to where she can actually be the aggressor as well, not just dancing around opponents' punches, but putting the pressure on them with her ability to be hard to hit. Something like that, I suppose, like what I just did. But I find it's a little bit easier. I find it do a little better if I play on the ground a bit more. Her stats actually aren't that different from I was gonna say Min-Min's. No, I'm pretty sure they're quite different from Min-Min's. They're not that different from Springman's, just maybe a little bit lower in some areas. Or maybe not even then, but I think her jump is like 1 notch above Springman's, and then that's like the main, like, size and arm size are both down. It's Ribbon Girl versus a Sucker Punch Lollipop. Keep forgetting about these. Luxury cafes sitting under clear blue skies, delightful aromas wafting through the streets. An epic match about to start. If this isn't paradise, I don't know what is. Shoot, what was I saying? Ah. Yeah, so her... I could just put the stats on screen. I don't have to remember them, but yeah. Lower size, which in term size means the fighter size, so how easy they are to hit. And then arms girth. Gotta love the word girth. So girthy. That's how big the arms are that they fight with. So Ribbon Girl's punches are a little bit smaller than Spring Man's, but not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Like you can see, I'm doing pretty okay at landing punches. Not usually so accurate, actually. Tend to do worse than that, but I suppose I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty just quite yet. So the Sparkies that she uses, you can see they're basically yellow toasters that are electric element instead of fire. And then you punch a clown right in the face and you win. And that's how you use Sparkies. But yeah, that's about it. They're just electric versions of toasters. They do a little bit less damage, but electric opens your opponent up for a grab. And grabs will actually do more damage than any punch you can deal. They'll always do at least 150 damage, and I think the most damage an arm can do is 140. And that's like a special case too. That's not average. That's unique to do 140. So now here I'm using the other two signature arms, the Slap-O-Mander and the Popper. The Popper is another lightweight arm that can do wind. And it's multi-shot, so when you charge it, the projectiles actually become one. But if you keep it uncharged, it's actually two projectiles. Although, I'm not quite sure. I think maybe the Popper is unique in that its projectile is just one projectile. But I'm pretty sure it's two, and then you charge it and it just becomes one. Now the Slap-O-Mander is a whip-type arm that you can see it's got kind of a curving thing going on. It does a slap action, which you can curve left or right, and keep it center. Just gonna see if I could do, like, come from below. No. I suppose that's fair. And it's actually really good at hitting opponents. I find its tracking is, excuse me, pretty accurate. I have a good time hitting people with them. And I think the idea behind them is they're good at hitting your opponent if you know where they're gonna be. They're a good punishing tool, as they say, for, you know, punish your opponent for being predictable. And I guess that's about it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep talking over every fight, because, you know, it's a fight, and I kind of should be focusing on winning the fight. Now we get Mechanica here in what was it? Skill shot? Let's play some V-Ball. We're getting the third minigame already. Cool. The rules are simple. Hit the ball over the net. Oh, and the ball will explode after a bit, so just watch out for that. Yeah, it's just volleyball. Except it explodes! Now get out there and show some hustle. First to 5 points wins. Now for this, I'm gonna go with the Slap-O-Manders, because curving arms actually do kind of... I think they kind of do better. Like, they're not... I really don't know if anyone's figured out a strategy for V-Ball. I've been trying to figure out, like, what each minigame is supposed to teach you. Because you could see back there was hoops, which is obviously, you know, practice in landing good... No, don't explode. Hoops is good practice for landing throws, which also kind of got me used to not only landing throws, but also, you know, the ability to jump over stuff to dodge it, which you can do as basically anyone. But again, it's like, don't do it too much, because then it's just unpredictable. But I suppose if you're jumping over your opponent's punch every time, then maybe you're not the one being predictable, you know? And Skill Shot is obviously working on your aim, and your ability to hit without being hit, because your opponent's punches will also be flying towards you, as your punches fly towards them through targets. But V-Ball, I can't really figure out what principle it could possibly be building off of. I think they kind of did just want to do volleyball, but you hit it with your arms. I know that stage. That's Gluster Beach, home stage of the Clockwork Cops. Match 4, getting louder. It's Rimagirl versus the Clockwork Cops. Bite and Bark. Bite might not seem like he has hops, but he can launch off of Bark's head. Can these beach bots actually threaten Rimagirl's air superiority? Let's find out. Well, not if I go with a build like this. Yeah, see, arms are the thing that make this game not really something that has a tier. You know, in addition to playstyle, which I mentioned, like my playstyle with Ribbon Girl, the one I've had success with is a little bit different than the one I think is supposed to be, you know, the main idea with Ribbon Girl. I do a little bit better if I stay on the ground. At least against AI. I mostly just fight the AI. I don't really play online. People are better than me online. I don't like losing. And I forgot what I was saying again. Yeah, arms. So fighters are not restricted to their 3 sets of arms. They're just whatever 3 you equip on them. There is a minigame in this, which I just remembered exists because I don't have to play it anymore because I already unlocked all the arms for everybody. Where you can unlock all the arms for everybody. So a fighter will start out with their set of 3, you know, Ribbon Girls, Sparkies, Hoppers, and Slapamanders. But you can unlock everyone else's arms for them, and if you get them a second time, if you get duplicates, you get your arms powered up. They become a little bit stronger. I think that really just does like 10 extra damage, and maybe their speed gets a little bit higher. But you know, I appreciate the fact that they at least do something for getting a duplicate, and then after you upgrade them, you can't get any more duplicates. So it's very easy if you get enough coins to play the game. You know, you just play the minigame enough, you can very easily just unlock all the arms. Smash 4's custom moves not being so easy to get all of. I love Smash 4, but I hate that they have duplicates in their custom move sets, especially because like all the time you don't actually get new moves. You just get the little like badges or whatever they're called. Let's go double poppers. Sure, why not? Let's take Bark out there. Which is kind of the idea when you're fighting Bite, because he doesn't have any abilities on his own, and actually, his stats are not that great, so he does rely on Bark to give him his abilities. Which, I don't know, I feel like he shouldn't have been designed that way, because of course your opponent is going to always go for Bark and knock him down. Like, why would you not do that? But I think it does depend on this stuff. I keep getting sidetracked off of my point there. Yeah, so everyone can use every arm. You have to unlock them first, but yes, everyone can use any arm. And that's like the entire strategy of arms, is not just what fighter you pick, but what arms you pick as well. Which makes it very hard to make a tier for this game. Because sure, like, Bite and Bark, as I've said, are considered bottom tier. But if you're good as them, you can do well. Like, I think it was like this most recent tournament as of recording this that I've seen had a Bite and Bark win. So it's not a matter of tier, it's a matter of playstyle and arm selection. Which I love about this game. There is no real meta. You can go with what you want, and as long as you're good at the game, you can kick butt. Ah, that's Ninjara again. But for some reason, it reminds me of Gaijin Goomba. Like, I think that's just his mask. That's not an actual beard, but it reminds me. The studio of Stealth Ninja. Ninja College is surrounded by a huge force. Special forms of ninjutsu they teach here was developed by jumping from tree to tree. That's all you have to say? Okay, well, no wonder his vanishing only works in the air. Actually, that's not true. He can vanish when he guards. I think I'll go Slapamander Popper again. I don't have much of a reason for doing Slapamander on the left as opposed to the right. For Ribbon Girl, it doesn't actually matter. In fact, I think Min Min is the only one who which arm you put on which hand actually matters. But, you know, we'll talk about that when we get to Min Min soon enough. Yeah. Now, I tend to put, like, glove-type arms, or the ones with rushes that have spammable... Well, the ones that have spammable rushes on my right, but that's just because I find my right hand is just better at mashing the button than my left hand is. Oh, there we go. Now, I think it's starting at level 4. the NPC, if they're able to, will always guard your rush. So if you play on level 4, you gotta get used to either hitting them when they cannot possibly guard, like when they're in the air or in the middle of attacking, like I did just then, or you have to counter. Which might sound like a pain, but that's how the game is played. If your opponent rushes, you're gonna guard. And if you can't guard, then your opponent has chosen a very good time to rush. You know, that's how you handle rushing, is you either get them when they can't guard, or yeah, just do this. I like to try to shake it up, but yeah, we're winning. Let's not ruin a good thing. Yeah, you either get them when you can't guard, or they will guard it. Like, you have to be sure that you can land it if you're gonna rush. Which, and often, the best way to do that is I don't know what you're doing, Ninjara, just walking towards me. Get them when they can't guard. Which is usually... Okay, fine, you're gonna jump? Fine, I'll get you when you're jumping. I was trying to counter his attack, and he wasn't attacking. And then I wasn't thinking of rushing when he was attacking. It's just not just how I fight. It is. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's a me problem, not the game. Gotcha. Get out of my circle. Get out of my circle. See, I think even the items are teaching you principles of the game while, you know, subtly teaching you, like pressure. The idea of forcing your opponent to not be able to get to a certain point because you're just attacking them too intensely. You want to put pressure on them so they don't join you in the circle. And of course, they also added an element of predictability. There's that phrase again, while I'm drinking some water. An element of predictability, because you know they're going to try to get in the circle or avoid a bomb. Mix it up and play some hoops. I can skip this because it's the same dialogue every time. Now, you know what I find really sad is that I have not seen a whole lot of good fan art of Ribbon Girl, and I don't mean like quality-wise. I mean nice fan art. Like, there's, without saying too much, there's a bizarre amount of, let's just say, unsavory art I've seen of Ribbon Girl, and that's like, why? I could maybe understand if the theme of the game is like, oh, well, you know, it just attracts people who like seeing the characters beat up. But no, it's just Ribbon Girl, and I have no idea why. And it makes me sad, because Ribbon Girl's not a bad character. I mean, tier-wise, I think she is on the lower end, but I do know people can be really annoying as a good Ribbon Girl. And like I was saying, it's not about the character. It's not about the tier. It's about playing well. So it's not like people are just dunking on her for being a bad fighter in-game. And, like, when you look at her lore, she's got, like, a heart of gold. Like, there's art of her dressing up in a Santa costume and going around giving fans presents on Christmas. Which reminds me of Taylor Swift, that one time she did, I think she did something like that. I forget if it was just for one fan or she did that in multiple houses, but, you know, she, like, bought a family Christmas presents and showed up in person to deliver them. So Ribbon Girl is basically in-universe Taylor Swift, except more poppy and less country. Or I should say no country. Is Taylor Swift country? I don't even know. That should show how much Taylor Swift I listen to. It just makes me sad. Why are people so mean to Ribbon Girl? Ribbon Girl is great. Speaking of being great, Twintelle. Hang on, I'll finish that thought. Ribbon Girl versus the Silver Screen Queen, Twintelle. She's a true global trendsetter, renowned for her fashion sense. Many celebrities also use her fragrances. And most people know her for her butt. And to that I say, haven't you seen Ribbon Girls too? Like, it's Twintelle and Min Min. Those are the two people go to, but, like, Ribbon Girl. She's got a good butt too. Anyway, whatever. Stop talking about butts. I'm not even that into butts. Now, as you may notice, Twintelle doesn't have her arms. Or should I say, her arms are not arms. Her arms are hair. Which I think is a perfect example of how good the character design in this game is. Because not everyone, like, at least for me, when I think, okay, let's design an arms fighter. So where the arms gonna be? Well, on their arms. Okay, but let's, you know, the people who made this game were like, you know what, let's not do that for every fighter. Here's one who their arms are their hair. Sure, she's the only one who has technically 4 arms. But it's cool that they even thought of it even once to make their arms their hair instead. Also, that's another thing I think people overlook about Twintelle. I mean, I was talking about Ribbon Girl, but we're talking overlooked details. You see Twintelle's arms? Those are some good arms. Also, obvious joke of she's a JoJo antagonist because hair and the ability to slow time, sort of. It's actually her actress aura, but it slows incoming punches like she's slowing time, like she's using the world! I mean, didn't Biff say she's a global trendsetter? So yeah. The world trendsetter. Come on, Twintelle. Come on. I don't usually struggle with Twintelle. I find she's actually one of the easiest NPCs. Excuse me. Because the NPC is not very good at utilizing her ability to slow punches. But I can't... I have no room to talk. I'm not either. I am not a good Twintelle. Now, you want to know how rich Twintelle is? These are her cars. These 4 cars right here, they're all hers. What else is there to say? I'm trying to, like... trying to think of what would be good to say when I'm playing as Twintelle. And what can I say right now that's not really consequential, you know, to being Twintelle? What is something I shouldn't save for Twintelle? Well, here's something that's relevant to being Ribbon Girl. Twintelle and Ribbon Girl actually used to work under the same music label. I think they were actually partners. And then Twintelle became a movie star. She started doing less music, and I guess they went their separate ways. Oh, I just noticed I'm losing. Well, never give up. I have won matches with slivers of health before. Turnarounds are absolutely possible in this game. You just gotta not give up. That's Springman's mechanic that I never got a chance to mention while playing as him. Was his other ability is that when he reaches 25% health, so you can see the health is split up into segments there. Once he's on that last block of health, his arms stay permanently charged. So much for Twintelle being easy. But yeah, Springman stays permanently charged at 25%. 25% health. I was gonna say 25% power. It's because he's a phone. He gets extra ability when he's at 25%. That's not true. That's not how phones work. Phones don't get better when they have less battery. Okay, I need to be focusing more. Oh, car's getting in the way. Ah. You actually can't, if you punch a car with Rush, they actually do roll around. It's like their parking brakes aren't that great. Well, I would say, or rushing is really strong. Well, can you really push a car through its parking brake? Like, isn't that the point of a parking brake, is that the wheels don't roll? So, you know, no matter how hard you hit a car with its parking brake on, it shouldn't move. Well, okay, you know, physics disagrees with that statement. But you know what I mean. I don't mean like getting kicked by the Hulk. I mean like someone punching it, like no matter how... Unless they're the Hulk, which arms fighters are not. Ah, I didn't time that well. And it was also out of range, so they weren't even hitting, whittling through her guard. Nope, that was a bad grab. I knew that wasn't gonna land. Match 8. Ah, that's what I was thinking. Spring Man. Because Spring Gym is in the city, and the city is like, it's kind of like Manhattan. The tempo quickens. It's Urban Girl versus the Bouncer, Spring Man. Put him in a tight spot, and he springs back stronger than before. Come on, Urban Girl. Tie him up in a bow. Well, okay, if I can get him with my grab. I'm gonna reenact the box art. There actually is an in-game achievement for that. I haven't shown that off yet, but this game has badges that you can earn by doing certain things. And I do think one of them is reenact the box art. Springman is another fighter who could definitely give me trouble. You would think with him being so simple and straightforward that he would be easy to anticipate, but I don't know. It's those dang boomerangs, man. I have trouble predicting the curving arms. But I think the problem with that is that a curving arm tends to come from the side. So if you dodge left or right, you're not getting out of the way of it, necessarily. You can, but I don't know the specifics of it. But you're supposed to be dodging... I tried to do a grab. It's supposed to be dodging forward or backward, I think. But instead I tend to jump. There we go. Get him with the grab. Which, it may be hard to notice. Yeah, see, there's Springman getting his... Never mind. Getting his ability there. I should take a break soon. I'm already getting old. This is the second episode. This is a 2-episode recording session. I'm already getting tired. It's not like I don't stream anymore. It's not like I'm not used to talking a lot anymore. Yeah, you may have... Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that Springman and Rebel Girl actually have different grab patterns for their, well, the little grab nets, the little green thing that lets you know, hey, a grab is coming. Which is true for every fighter. Every fighter has a distinct little, let's just call it a grab mesh. Springman's is, whatever it was, I forget. Rebel Girl's is ribbons, and so on. I think Lollipops is like a deck of cards, so it's not always directly related to what the character's immediate theme is. Whoa. Ow, okay. Now, I know some characters get faster when they're charged. Their dash distance increases a little bit. Which is not getting faster. I don't know why I say getting faster. Their dash distance increases. I'm not sure if that means that when Springman is permanently charged, he permanently has increased dash distance, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Box art successfully recreated. Oh, I know that stage. That's Masango. Yeah, there he is. It's Star Platinum. Match 9. 1 note away. It's Rebel Girl versus the spirited fighter, Masango. This secluded temple is a long way from any kind of metropolis. I brought up Rebel Girl in a casual conversation and no one even knew who she was. This could be a great opportunity for her to expand her fan base. But can she do it? Of course. Because I'm playing as her. No, not that cocky. But yeah, the human player is going to win. Because that's how game works. Now, I feel a little bad about this stage. Because you can see it's got the pillars there. Which are very easy to break. Most mid-stage objects break with 3 hits. I think that's true for every object, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, obstacles like this, things that are meant to block punches, they only last for 3. And they immediately get destroyed if you throw someone through them, like so. There is actually a piece of lore that says that Misango is the one who created these pillars, and he's the one who replaces them every time they get smashed. It's like, aw, man. I'm just making more work for Misango every time I play on the stage. You know how many times I've played on the stage? You know how many times I've broken those pillars? A lot. I don't remember if there's a badge for winning on this stage without breaking any pillars. There should be. Let's go slap Manor in the right arm. This goes against what I was saying about how I always put the spammable one on the right arm. Because this one's rush is very much not spam. So one of those, I don't know what you would call it. It's like multi-hit, I guess. Where you just land one hit with it and then it automatically unleashes more. I guess that kind of is the 2 different kinds of rushes. You either have spam or you have a multi-hit. The only other exception I can think of would be the missiles, where they just explode. It's just one big explosion that deals 200 damage right away, if you can land it. But you definitely gotta be careful with those, because you can hurt yourself with those. I felt like I had to say something else after that, but I was gonna say, so be careful. Yeah, you gotta be careful, because they explode, so be careful. And I gotta scratch my face, because of dishes, so I scratched my face. Ow. Yeah, something like that, basically. That's what this will be. Whiffed it. Botched it, as Beowulf would say. Come on. Get him with the Sparky. There. I don't know if that came through. I said there. I don't know if it sounded like I said there, because it kind of... My throat kind of failed me a little bit. That's what it sounded like to me. Alright, fine. I win by decision. The grand finale. It's Max Brass! Well, I'm so surprised after saying last time that it's always him. Dimes Grand Prix Grand Finale is a Grand... I don't know if I read that right. Raven versus the Commission, Max Brass. He's head of the Arms League and constituted this floating arena himself. Constituted? This is a moment Raven Girl has been dreaming of, but can she make it a reality? It all comes down to this. Knock him out and put a bow on this tournament. I'm gonna slap him. No. Fist to fist. I like those nades he has there. His grenade gloves there. I just think it's clever design. It reminds me of that one My Hero Academia character, who is like the only character in that I think of when I think, it's pretty alright character design in that show. Or manga, I guess, because the show is based on the manga. Like, I guess I don't really like should I say the show again? I don't really like My Hero's character designs that much, but that guy with the explosion gloves, or the explosion powers, and he just has these grenade gloves, I think that's pretty cool. What are you doing? You had me, and then you gave it up. What are you doing? Yeah, this stage is also another great stage for understanding the concept of predicting your opponent, because you can see it's multi-layered there, so he has to jump to get back up to here. So he's either going to go left or right, or try to jump up to get on level with me. But when he jumps up to get on the same level, that's an opportunity to get him. I forgot to mention, so rush attacks do have a cap on how much, I guess not really how much damage, because with good arm combinations and good execution of your rush, you can get some pretty high damage. I don't think there's an actual damage cap. But there is a cap on how many hits you can do. So I think using 2 Sparkies here, the cap is something like 280 or something like that. Are you going 2 gloves again? I'll go 2 gloves again. I suppose I didn't really give Ribbon Girl's arms that much of an explanation. So yeah, Sparkies, electric gloves. I know I did talk about them. Basically electric toasters. The popper is wind element, multi-shot, which can be good for getting opponents out of your face, because it can be rather easy to hit them with it, especially from a distance, because the shot size grows. And then the Slam-O-Mander, yeah, or Slap-O-Mander. I did talk about the Slap-O-Mander. It's fire, which is just really just damage. Excuse me, but still a pretty good arm regardless. Garm or Ardless. With that rush and that sentence. Hope we got him on the ropes. I feel bad about how this stage is constructed, because it's like, you can see, that's a balcony. We're fighting on a balcony, basically. So, one bad throw, and someone's going off the building. I assume there's like a safety net down there or something, but it's like, this is a scary arena. Ow. Okay. Now, the thing about super armor is that you can't, like, it's not really invincibility. It's just taking 50 damage instead of what would be like 100 or so. But it doesn't protect against elements either. Uh-oh. Oh, don't get me with explosion. Whew. So if you start tanking too many hits, it can be easy to whittle you down when you're trying to utilize that super armor. But there we go. Final boss defeated. Except we haven't seen anything special happen for being on board. Can it be? Has someone finally taken down the Max Brass? Ladies and gents, the winner today... What? Up in the sky. What is that thing? I think it's a bird. It glommed onto Max Brass's head. Commish, somebody help him! Uh-oh. I think this guy's looking for a fight. Who's gonna take care of this creep? Meet the true final boss. Headlock. Same stage. Sort of same opponent. With a secret weapon. Headlock. What a turn of events. Victory is all but assured. But now there's a party crasher to deal with. My head is spinning for what just happened, but I'm excited for what's about to go down. We're all pulling for you, Ribbon Girl. Type this tyrant and make your fans' dream come true. Dreams, plural. They all have multiple dreams. They're not dreaming the same dream. So let's go Popper. And Sparky. So Headlock is less a new fighter and more a power-up. It's still Max Brass underneath, but now instead of 2 arms, he has 6. Which means more pressure from him, but a longer vulnerability window for us. Or, well, it's still for him, but for us to take advantage of. So it's a disadvantage for him. It also changes his, I believe, his throw and his rush. He no longer rushes. Instead, he lets out a projectile, which can be deadly, obviously, because it's a projectile, and it's kind of... Yeah, there it is! There! No, I got hit by it! No! I think I got off easy. That thing can easily do about, like, 400 damage. I used to hate Headlock. I think he wasn't a very good end to this. But the more I fought him, the more I realized that, yeah, he's a good teacher for making sure you know the mechanics of this game. Because 6 arms means more pressure, which means you're practicing more for resisting that pressure and finding a good opportunity to punch him, to counterattack. And it means you have to be more careful with what you do. Like, if you go for a rush, you gotta be sure you're not gonna get hit by his other... I was gonna say 7, that's not right. Other 5 arms. Ah, shoot. Well, we are playing on levels 5, 6. I always think 5 is the middle, but it caps at 7, so we're on 5 right now. 4 is the middle. Anyway. And again, it's fighting Headlock that I realize, oh, when he jumps back towards the middle of the stage, he's vulnerable. I can get him. And you may have noticed, timer is infinite, so you don't have to worry about timer scams here. Which is also unfortunate because you can't timer scam, but I find it's a blessing to not have to worry about the timer running out. Aha! No rush explosion for you. Ow. I had to land. You got me when I had to land. Now, I realize I forgot to mention about charging, is that charging will also fill up your rush gauge. So you don't just fill up rush from the little item circles that pop up when the drones come in and decide to drop them. Jeez. I don't think I've heard that voice clip by Rubbing Girl before. Shoot. So you build up rush by punching, and I think it also builds up when you take hits, whether you block them or not. And you can build it up by charging. I don't know if characters have different rates of building up rush. I assume not. Yeah. Totally gonna lose to Headlock here. Ah, man, almost had him. It's the dang Max Brass Shockwave. There we go. Almost thought it was gonna be a double KO there. Sometimes your opponent's punches are I'm not sure exactly what the window of opportunity is for an opponent's punch still being valid when you knock them out. But yeah, it is possible to get them to get a double KO because your opponent's punch was already coming for your face when you knocked them out, and it just didn't stop. Yeah, those Kablammers are also really good for us because of the long window of opportunity when he misses for us to counter him. Because they're a heavyweight arm and take a while to come back. And it's heavyweight arm times 3. And this is also a good show of how... Am I saying that too much? Like, this is good to show you that the game works like this. I try not to say that too much, like it was an Ocarina of Time, or like, oh, this is a fun fact, little known thing. I don't know if you know this. The explosive arms are a double-edged sword because when you charge them, if your arm gets clipped, like not hit directly, but a little bit, you know, you take some side damage there. I don't know exactly what. Anyway, they can explode on you. Yes, that creep is down for the count. Hold on, I've just received some intel. During a routine experiment in ARMS laboratories, there was an what? That light. Is everything okay? It's everywhere. Is Max gonna be okay? Huh? Whoa! It's gone. What was that thing? Where did it come from? Where did it come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I wonder. I think it looked good. I think I'd look good in a man. I didn't get to catch that. It's a joke or something. Why was I ever worried? Look at that's our commish. She's flexing like nothing happened. Anyway, now that's over. Let's get back to our regular scheduled programming. Look at people, of course, everybody's about to get in. Let's take a look at the final results. Now that's a score worth celebrating. Could a new ARMS legend be in our midst? Yeah, it's the same dialogue. Until he announces who won. Let's get ready to go crazy! The winner of the ARMS Grand Prix, our dear new grand champion, the heiress Ribbon Girl. From singing to bell ringing, she can do it all. Congratulations. There's another ARMS trophies. I'd like to thank all competitors and fans at home. See you next time, folks. Now we get credits. Woo! But don't think it's over there. We've still got the whole other cast of characters to go through. There's like 13 other fighters to do. And I will wait for the credits when we do that last character. Sorry, staff.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And there you go. Ribbon Girls. Promise fulfilled to play a show on Ribbon Ring, which I'm surprised she hasn't done before, because it's her home stage. You think it's supposed to be her stage, literally. That's it for this episode. Actually, wait. I suppose I should show you badges, because I did mention them. Badges! They're basically achievements, but you get a little thing you can wear. Like this. You complete a training session. You look smarter. Mine, the one I have on, is of course you could see it's a Min Min one, because she's my favorite. Where is it in here? It's over here.
Yeah.
Reach level 10 in the 12th Party Crash. Way to be, Min Min. Party Crashes aren't a thing anymore. They were kind of like Splatfests for ARMS, except you weren't restricted to one mode. So, in all honesty, I think they were better. But I can't really show you what they're like anymore. I mean, it kind of was just party match playing online, but there was like a theme to it of supporting one fighter or another. And it was like every now and then, it was like a set time interval. There would be like arms that would earn you bonus points for supporting your fighter, and then you rank up and then you get rewards, which I think were mostly just throwaway things, except for certain tiers, which would get you badges. I don't know if you're able to earn these badges anymore. I mean, not ones like this, because yes, you can still get those done, but the Party Crash specific ones. But yeah, I think this is a cool system because these badges can be pretty neat. Like these Party Crash ones. Okay, that's it for that's actually it now. Wow, 47 minutes. Jeez. I didn't think they'd get that long, but apparently they do. Thank you for watching. See you next time when we do Ninjara. Bye.